Looking to get dinner on the table with ease? The answer might be more simple than you expect. Watch until the end of this video to find a life-changing solution. Here on this channel, I bring the hard-fought lessons that I learned working with professional chefs right to your home kitchen. Click on the bell to get notified when each new video comes out every Thursday. If you are consistently struggling to get healthy, home-cooked food on the table for your family, then your life will be made a little easier by the end of this video. I will share an approach to dinner that will truly improve your quality of life through the time that you save and the love that you share. I've seen countless lives of my students changed through the courage and the confidence that I bring, and I would love for you to find that here too. Okay, so we've all heard of Blue Apron at this point, and now of course there are endless competitors: HelloFresh, Sunbasket, Plated, Home Chef, Munchery, Dinnerly, Freshly, etc., etc. I know a lot of people who have tried these, but I don't know anyone who has stuck with it for more than a few months, tops. And their main complaint? It takes too much time. And I agree 100%. These meals are designed by chefs to be intriguing and adventurous, and these are great qualities to seek out on a date night dinner experience, but when we're just eating during the week, that's not really our top priority. When eating on a Tuesday night, for example, our top priorities are probably something that's quick, easy, and tastes good and is good for our bodies, and more importantly, our kids' bodies. As an aside, if I've ever felt any deep motivation to cook healthy food, it's after becoming a father of 3. There's something that just intrinsically tells me that it's just the right thing to do to feed them majority home-cooked food that's not fast, processed food. When cooking one of these delivered home meal kits, we don't care if we have homemade preserved lemon in our quinoa salad. And we certainly don't need to begin learning how to supreme a lemon in the midst of cooking a supposedly fast dinner. So why all of this complexity? Well, simply put, they need to keep things interesting, obviously. It wouldn't work if we just had all the meals that were like plain chicken breast and steamed rice. So Blue Apron delivers these meals that are certainly intriguing and have great flavor combinations that are new to us. But after a few deliveries, simply eating unfamiliar flavors doesn't seem to be alleviating any of our ongoing dinner preparation woes. I mean, yeah, it's nice to have all the ingredients come right to your door for that one specific dinner, but you still have to go grocery shopping for all the other food you're going to eat that week, not to mention the other dinners that weren't covered in that delivery. And the suggested times on the recipe cards tend to be way lower than it actually takes to get dinner on the table. Around the second month, when we step back to assess the whole system, we find the meals turn out fine enough, the cost isn't great, we still have to go grocery shopping, it still takes quite a while to get dinner on the table, and our kids won't eat that food. And at that point, we kind of step back and say, it's just not appealing enough to continue ordering. But none of these things is at the heart of the problem. The real problem with Blue Apron is that it's just a band-aid for a widespread cultural gash. And that gash is the lost art of knowing how to actually cook and passing that skill down generationally. If you're like me and you're in your 30s, it's very possible that your mom cooked, and maybe she taught you how to cook. But it's also very possible that she was really busy working and just didn't have time to cook. Or maybe her mom didn't teach her, and so she didn't teach you. Comment below and let me know if your mom or dad or aunt or grandma taught you how to cook, or if you didn't learn how to cook when you were growing up. I'm really curious and would love to know your story. My personal experience was that I grew up eating a lot of good home-cooked food from my mom and my grandma's, but I never learned how to cook myself until after I got married. We don't value the domestic arts like we used to, and lacking a knowledge of how to cook has become extremely common. If you don't feel confident when you step into your kitchen, cooking a Blue Apron meal certainly won't initiate any long-term growth. In fact, it may make you feel even worse as you try to cook these supposedly plug-and-play meals and yet are unfamiliar with many of the terms or processes. So you get tripped up. When you don't know certain cooking terms or have a working knowledge of the principles at play, cooking individual recipes is like having blinders on. Each instance is isolated from the next and not connected to learning a larger skill set. Yeah, over time you can kind of figure out, okay, what are these certain terms? What are the skills that I'm lacking? But without someone showing you exactly how to execute each skill consistently and efficiently, it's very hard to cobble together a general proficiency. So, the real problem with Blue Apron? The convenience that it delivers comes at quite a cost, both to the individual and to our culture as a whole. For the past 60 years, our country has been looking for things to be faster and more efficient, and yet we still don't have enough time, despite all of the technological advances that have been made. What if we took the time to invest in ourselves and our cooking skills and lay a foundation there that would allow for much more fast and efficient cooking long term? You know, when you see a professional chef on TV, They never use recipes, and yet they always seem to know just what to do, how much of something to add in, and they carry this confidence with them that my food's gonna turn out amazing. They don't have any magical powers that you don't. They simply have the right knowledge, and they've just been practicing a lot longer than you have. I spent a couple years working in professional kitchens, and during that time, I was able to identify and master those skills that chefs have floating around in their brains as they cook. And I would love nothing more than to share those with you. So, my solution to the blue apron problem? Learning how to actually cook. To be equipped with the skills and knowledge that would allow you to cook with ease and confidence every day. If you would like to begin the process of learning how to cook like a chef, watch the next video to learn more. But even before the next video, I would love to get you started down that path by giving you the gift of an unfairly delicious salmon recipe. And by unfair, I mean the amount of flavor that this dish carries outperforms the effort put into it many times over. And that's the way that chefs cook. They want their food to be bursting with flavor, and yet the effort that goes into the preparation oftentimes is much, much less than you would imagine. If you resonate with the issues that I discussed in this video, let me know by hitting the like button. Be sure to subscribe to receive my weekly videos on how to cook like a chef at home. And I would love to know if you learned how to cook when you were growing up from some sort of parental figure, so don't forget to share that in the comment section. And if you know somebody who would find this video helpful, just go ahead and share it with them. It's really powerful to receive a resource from a trusted friend. It's one of my personal favorite things. So until next time, own your fuel and cook more food.